our guest for today is Alu Bhanumati ma'am, MA, MEd, a philanthropist, academician, politician. Mrs. Alu Bhanumati has done her double masters in political science and education. She started her career as a teacher in school. She went on to follow her illustrious politician father's footsteps by becoming chairperson of Women and Child Welfare for 5 districts in 1983, MLA and panel speaker in 1984, DCC bank chairperson from 1994 to 2004. She has a trust named after her late father, LPS Chalam Trust, which helps improve livelihoods for the poor in rural and urban Vishakhapatnam. In her illustrious career, she has toured 12 countries: USA, UK, France, Germany, to name a few. On agricultural study, representing as a board member AP Agricultural University to change agricultural practices in India in 1994. In 1999, she represented India for 1 month training program at Tokyo, Japan, organized by IDACA, which is the Institute of Development of Agricultural Cooperation in Asia, along with 22 countries' women representatives as chairperson DCC Bank. Though through these rich experiences, she could change the face of agriculture in rural Vishakhapatnam by establishing women cooperatives, incorporating innovative methods of farming for all sections of the society. Women were a main focus of her career. They were given funding for starting new businesses and agriculture in rural India. She went on to receive an award from President of India for best performance in the formation of self-help groups during her tenure as DCC Bank chairperson. She was an entrepreneur throughout her career. She established the Harbour International School and College as the chairperson in 2018, which is running successfully in Vishakhapatnam. This was her dream to impart education with ethics and morals to the future generations. Her father is late Likalappeda Simachalam Naidu, I hope I pronounced it right, who was an entrepreneur, elected PCC member, Vishakhapatnam District Bharat Sevak Samaj convener, and a prominent Congress leader during 1960s and 1970s. Her husband, Alugori Naidu, BE Electrical, retired superintendent engineer, AP Transco, and presently is a consultant to Visakha Dairy. She has 3 daughters and a son. She lost her son in 2004 in a road accident. Her eldest daughter is a professor in Andhra Medical College. Second daughter is an associate professor in Andhra University. And the third is a practicing doctor in USA. Please welcome educationist and former MLA, Mrs. Alu Bhanumati ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us.
Doing these programs, as all the others who have been coming regularly know, is basically to highlight certain skills, life skills, people skills, and how ordinary, simple women are making quite achievements in their lives, everyday, day-to-day lives. And we are showcasing various hues of women achievers. And in that context, we met Ms. Vandana Mehrotra in the first episode, who's a banker with SBI. And then we met Ms. Vaishali Kulkarni, who's a biker. And today we are meeting a person who's a very, very different caliber for all of us, and Mrs. Bhanumati Alu. Thank you for joining us. So before we get on to the actual interactive conversation, I want to take you all back to an episode in my childhood, somewhere in the year 71, 72. I was a little girl, and all I remember was we had to switch off lights whenever we heard the siren. It was called blackouts. I think it was the Indo-Pakistan war, when during the Bangladesh liberation process or movement kind of a thing. So all we remember is we used to switch off lights, go under the dining table and hide. And then another episode I still remember was again late 70s in Neyveli Lignite Corporation, where my father was the senior finance manager. He was a chartered accountant. And there was a strike in NLC, and all the workers had called for a strike. And the officers were not taking part. So then I remember my father drove the jeep, usually there's a driver. So he drove the jeep and picked up many of his colleagues, and they all went and attended office to mark that they were not participating in the strike. And then that evening and the next day, we had all these workers who came to our house and started shouting, driver Janardhan Rao, down, down, and all that. So we were very scared. I remember I was a small girl even then. So we locked up the main gate, we locked up the house, and we were sitting inside the house as if the house was, no one was there kind. Why am I saying all these things is because not that we were not brave or not that we were not living by a set of values, but I know it requires a very different set of priorities to, and courage, most importantly, to take on political leadership.
Madam,
Yes, ma'am. Please speak.
I born in a village, remote village, our
Okay.
village, and my father is very, very active, and he's politician, and he's very true father. Everything is, I was brought by him, not my mother. My education is 1 mile distance from my village. All our friends go by walk to side by village. Up to 8th, I studied at village level. Afterwards, I came to Visakhapatnam, got BVK matriculation and PUC at St. Joseph's College, women at Visakhapatnam. Afterwards, I got married, and I got, still I continued to study. Besides giving birth to 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. And at the younger stages, I'm very active in college, what you mean in high school, and even in B.Ed college. And M.Ed, I studied in college directly, not by online. Online means private study. But I am very much interested in education because of my father. He likes education. So, there are so many hurdles. 4 children going to college, B.Ed college, M.Ed college at Vijayanagaram. And this is all, it's now thinking it is maybe difficult, but that time, with that interest and with that enthusiasm, I never felt that. And I participated in that college activities also with a new batch. I am 3 years back because I am with children joined late, 3 years, 4 years.
Okay.
But I am from rural background. I am very active in my games. Whatever, even after 4 children, I got first in all. Whatever, running, skipping, javelin, discus throw, whatever, skipping, everything, first or second, even at this time. And because of that enthusiasm, I finished my education. Meanwhile, I finished in M.Ed at the Vijayanagaram B.Ed College, and at that time I joined in politics. In politics also, as acted to all district, Visakhapatnam district, got the seat, and I could not get the first time. I had not got the opportunity because my name is not in the voter list. So it is a some disappointment. Getting seat, I could not contest. Next time, within 1.5 years, N.T. Ramarao is thrown by his from the CM post. Again, 1.5 years, he again started election. In that election, I got seat in Visakhapatnam 1 constituency and started, I got elected in 1. After that, I have so many experience in this journey. I got so many experiences. with children, with social society, and in
Ma'am, could you
politics.
keep your mic a bit closer? Mic koncham closer. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
madam. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. After that, 1985, I got elected to Visakhapatnam 1 constituency.
ఇంకా దగ్గర పెట్టుకోండి. Yes. Yeah.
85, I got elected as MLA
Yes.
from Visakhapatnam 1 constituency. Next, in the process, I went to Idaka, went to Japan. What is this? Our agricultural development
Yes.
activity. 22 representatives from 22 countries. Some MPs, some like I attended there as District Cooperative Central Bank Chairman.
Mm-hmm.
Done. After that, I was I got that central bank election. After MLA, I got that election.
So you did your college education after marriage.
Self-help groups I established. The beginning of the self-help
Yes.
groups I started 2000 and above. Then I got the award for the
President's
our
Award.
in our state I got that.
Very good. Really commendable that those days. See, what we are doing is now with present technology and so much of difference in the upbringing and recognition for women. Those days, what you have done is really amazing. And I also want to take you through another thing about, since you are talking about society and you want to do good for children and women. So research generally shows that women, when we are empowered as political leaders, or we try to bring in more higher standard of living, and with positive developments with the whole towards the whole family, and this will lead to positive developments in education, infrastructure, and overall economic development. So while doing my PhD in my doctoral research, also I worked with many NGOs where I worked with microfinance and women empowerment and women self-help groups. So here I work very closely with NGOs like Madhura Microfinance and Hand in Hand. So I can see that in 80s you have done many of these self-help groups. Can you tell us what was the impact of working with self-help groups? And that
Yes,
led you to what?
in those days, if any meetings organized by any political meeting or any other meeting, if they want to give garland to me, no lady is there in those days. All men.
Okay.
After self-help groups, all women are used to talk, meetings, speeches. They improved a lot.
Very good.
Within no time after self-help groups, women improved their education and their capability to speak, and how to organize their money, how to invest their money. They know so many things. They developed a lot after self-help groups organization.
Correct.
It
So
is
you were able to see visibly the difference, the change in women by empowering them.
in my time.
That
Within no time.
those is 90s, sir. Shall I say was it in the 1990s?
95. After 95. 1995, I elected as Cooperative Central Bank Chairman for district. District Cooperative Central Bank Chairman. After that, organized this self-help groups throughout the district.
Amazing. So here we have Vandana. Would you like to add your views on how SBI worked with self-help groups?
It is
Vandana, you could unmute. Yes.
Yeah. So good evening, ma'am. In State Bank of India, you would be knowing, I think, you would be clearly associated with State Bank also, because there is a lot of things, that we have schemes for the self-help groups. We've done a lot to reach out to those people. And I think it has been a very successful one with SBI. For us, otherwise also that last mile effort, we have always been extending ourselves to. So that last mile bit also includes the self-help groups. And through this MFIs, we've done a lot. The microfinance institutes have come and helped a lot, bring people above maybe even the poverty line, and maybe make them also very self-reliant. So I'm not.
Now moving on from the how you were able to empower women, the successful story, and I want to ask another question. Like most of us don't go into political arena at all. We just remain what we are. So critical power of empowering women along with financial independence is political access to political leadership, so that decision making is made by women. So how important it is to have political power to bring about positive changes in development, and how important it is for women to be in policy making and political leadership. I'm sure the youngsters would want to know this.
What, madam? Can
How
you?
important is it for the youngsters to get young women more, I would say, to get into political leadership so that they can take part in policy making?
I encourage, madam, because
Yes.
without the power, if you have power, if you have heart to do something,
Hmm.
to the addition to that, if we add this political power, we can do more and more. If you have good mind and without any bias, you want to do service, we can do
Correct.
more. As an individual, we may not do so much. But in organization, in political power, we can do so much. You can give thousands of houses for poor, for construction. And whatever, loans, we can do so much. But as a person, individual, we can't do that much. So I encourage youngsters to come into politics.
Good. And so, as you were saying, you were just saying about when you're doing service to the society, this is one way. So, in my very modest capacity, I have been associated with so many NGOs, and I do all this kind of in the field of organ donation, in the field of blind people, or empowering women and children in the field of education and life skills, especially for abandoned children. So, in the young audience today, what can you give us some path? How do they approach contribution to society? What is the method that they want? Because many people want to do, but they don't know how to go about it.
Because it is
How do they go about serving society for youngsters? Tips? Can you give some suggestions?
wherever you have a social consciousness and a social awareness. You have to do something to the in and around your wherever you are. If you are in village, if you are in college, if you are in job, wherever you are, something you can do that you must opportunity. There we can get. We can't give tips like that, but everybody can judge for. They have to to inspire inspiration. You can give, but where to go, how to go, it is their choice of the child, the students. Somebody wants to do service to the poor, blind, or say they're not disabled persons. Wherever, whatever, it is left to them. They have to choose themselves. You can't force them to do. It is their wish and will, where to go, how to. I am very much towards women. They are not they are not getting proper opportunities to their level, to their working. They work hard. Women work hard. In my experience, in jobs, in politics, wherever in your house, they work hard. But at that extent, they are not getting the recognition. It will come, surely it will come. But immediately, because everybody in my house, I never feel discrimination. From the beginning, like a male child, they treated me, and they never, you don't do that, like that. I never faced. But there are some houses, some families, they will restrict the babies, the students, or women. So now it is, like you said, now it is so many opportunities. Education is, everybody is getting education. There may be so many NGO organizations. We can affiliate with the NGOs, which
Correct.
organization we like, and you can affiliate with them and you can do some services. It is my sincere advice.
Yes.
But that they should choose the paths.
Be empathetic towards women. Observe and seize an opportunity whenever you find any reason where you can push yourself, and be
Yes.
aware of society around you. I guess that is what we can tell the young people. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes. As a MLA, I just
Yes.
1 hour. I am
Mic little closer, please. Mic closer. Yes. Yes.
as a MLA. Then I am also a speaker, panel speaker. I worked as a panel speaker also in House of Andhra Pradesh legislature. This thing. Then I got one case in my village. The marriage day only, that is nuptials day, sir. He burnt her in the house. So I fight that issue in the floor of assembly, and I got it 1 hour discussion by giving a notice, and I changed so many police officers. They were not cooperating with the case. They want to
Correct.
nullify. They want to do something,
Close the
getting
case.
close the case. So I went directly to CM and I asked him to change the DSP. That is like that. I have done. I fight for that cause. The
Correct.
lady, like that.
So if
If
a
you
woman
have,
is there in the scene, it is even better. So more women get into politics, we can help and be more, empathetic and look for women causes and see to it
yes,
that we are not, discriminated against. And it was a very good point, ma'am, what you said that in your family there's absolutely no discrimination. And I guess that is
yes.
what is now in present generation. Most urban families, there's not much discrimination, but still discrimination is there, especially with respect to education and maybe getting into entrepreneurship and all that. So those changes, I
Ah,
guess we can see if more women join politics and be actively involved in policy
in
making.
policy making and business,
Correct.
entrepreneurs, whatever. This
Yes.
sky is the limit. They can go any
Sky is the
job.
limit.
They can
Yes.
go. It
Yes,
is
that is true. And it's so nicely said, and it should be inspiring for us that someone as from that time you have been there actively here in political field and working for the development of women, and you are saying sky is the limit. It's really very, very motivating for all of us here. And one more last question because we are running out of time.
yeah, madam.
Ma'am, in all these projects that you did or your political career, you would have faced some or the other kind of setbacks or any kind of controversies. How did you face them?
I have so many, madam. I can't
Mm.
describe all, but
Okay, any one
I
maybe.
never. One thing in Visakhapatnam, our
Mm.
slum is removed at night without my
Okay.
notice.
Uh,
So I am the MLA of that area. Then and there, I went to the place and sit down and I contacted the CM. How can you remove the houses without my knowledge? I am the representative of that area. People will blame me. You have to
correct.
show them some place, some
Yes.
accommodation. Then you can do like that. Like that, I fight and got it done. So many issues
Correct.
and I am in central bank and I am as a MLA. Wherever we will get problems, but it will go, it will fight. We have to fight.
We have to fight. Yes,
We
that's the
have to
point.
fight. Yes, that's the point.
I
We
hope
should,
all my young audience are listening to this, because these days we hear very frequently terms of anxiety, burnout, and we are just not able to take it anymore. And life is overwhelming, and these kind of phrases we hear from youngsters, and they say they're depressed. And so you should hear from her that face it, fight it, you can overcome any challenge. And you can listen to her when she said that in the midnight the slum was removed, and she went there and she said, how can you remove it? I think it has to come from within. And I think it's very, very motivating to hear from you, ma'am, today. And we are really running out of time. One real last, this is the last question. So
okay,
from politics, you have come into education, because education is a field or a topic that's very close to my heart. And I'm working, Stress Proof Yourself is our flagship program from ALPS. And that is one leading to what I was saying earlier, that youngsters these days go into depression, anxiety so quickly. And school level, there's so much of stress. So one of our training programs from ALPS is Stress Proof Yourself, which really talks to parents and teachers and children. Now I see that you have come from politics. Now you moved on to education. You've started a school. So can you tell us about that path and what is the plan now?
I'm very interested in education, and I want to give good education to the children. I don't want this stress type of education, stress
Correct.
free, and they must work with happy. They have to do their job, their education
Yes.
joyfully. They are getting for a small word, or small mother scold him, or sister, she's not given that remote. Whatever they are dying, or they suicide. See, yes, it's all
True.
nonsense, madam. It's very hard burning. I don't like it. So I introduced the Bhagavad Gita class in my college.
Mm-hmm.
And one Vedanta Academy, Karuna Garu, she is coming to teach the children. They are, because I want them to be, they know, they must know what is the life. If you
Holistic
know,
education.
holistic education. They should not be depressed, and they should not be anxiety. They should not get anxiety. They must know what is what. If if they know the life of what is the life, they don't do these things. They can't. They won't give the pain to parents or teachers or our society. They don't
Correct.
know the value of life. That's why they are doing all this nonsense. They must be happy every minute. They must be happy. They must be happy. If
Yes.
I'm fighting so many times, I never felt anything bad. I never, so many problems I faced, but it's not, you have to face something. You can't do anything. You have to do
Yes.
whatever right you have to do. Then left to God. He will do
True.
the
Very well said.
next.
Very well said. Have your priorities clear, everyone. And I guess focus on what you want to do in life and don't get demotivated so quickly. You can always fight it and you can always move on. Am I right, ma'am?
Move on. Okay,
Yes.
madam.
And
Can
so to conclude, happiness is a goal. She, ma'am, also was talking about happiness, and we both seem to be actually overlapping. The next thought you were actually saying it, so we seem to be gelling so well. So happiness, yes, it's a goal. It's not a goal; it's a byproduct of, shall we say, how you treat your life. So if you prioritize your life with the things that you want to do, focus, then you're going to be very happy. And as we end, and before we open the audience question answer, I would like to call upon Mrs. Taluri Ganga Bhavani Garu. She has also joined us. She was the chairperson of Peddapura municipality in the year 1987 to 1992. And Anita, is she there? Would she like to add something?
I would like to thank you for such a wonderful career and the way you led your life for society and for the welfare. That is so encouraging. So I was just discussing with Surya about my mother-in-law. She is Taluri Ganga Bhavani, and she was from 1987 to 1992. She was in Peddapura Municipal Corporation chairperson, and she has done wonderful job for the society. So she can't speak. First. Yeah.
ఎలా బాగా చేయగలిగారా? బాగా మీకు అంతకుముందు
5 years బాగా చేశానండి.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే.
అంతకుముందు ఎవరు ఫ్యామిలీలో ఎవరు లేరు. నేను కూడా ఎక్కువ 6th one చదువుకున్నాను. మా నాన్నగారు కాకినాడ.
ఓకే.
అప్పుడు
I'm just translating a bit into English what she was saying, and some of the things that she did were, like Anita also shared with me. She was responsible for abolishing some of the red light areas in Peddapuram, which is commendable, I would say. So nice to see you, ma'am. And she said that she studied up to 5th form. 5th form is 8th standard, am I right?
10th.
10th. Okay. So up to 10th, and then she was able to, she has done so many other things like development of schools and all that. But most important I like about her work was elimination of red light areas in that area in Peddapuram. I'm really honored that she joined. They all had COVID and they're recovering from it. And yet they made it a point to join us. I thank you. Really, Chala, thanks. And
you are an excellent achiever. And that too a quiet achiever. In fact, it's this particular title is very apt for you, and it's very nice. And the way Dr. Surya has brought out the conversation is very nice, and I'm sure youngsters will get motivated with this conversation. And thank you, both of you.
Thank you very much for your comment.
I've never seen such a soft-spoken politician so far. So you're so soft-spoken and you're so calm and quiet, and that's the biggest learning I can have. Would want to take from you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, Surya ma'am. So shall we wrap up now?
Yes. Anyone in the audience would like
I
to
would want
ask?
to share the video of few pictures if I can right now.
Yeah. And so thank you everyone who joined us. And
there's wonderful comments that people have dropped in on our chat boxes saying thank you Bhanumati ma'am for sharing your experiences and being a strong women leader and creating change. Your story is really inspiring. More power to you. So I want to introduce the next speakers that we have. So next week is kind of, we have a jam-packed schedule. We have 2 speakers this week coming up. Dr. L. Vijaya ma'am, who specializes in ophthalmology, years of rich experience, and Dr. Shakila Merchant ma'am, who specializes in earth sciences. So Vijaya ma'am will be joining us live from Singapore, and Shakila ma'am will be joining us live from New York. So and IST, Indian Standard Timing, 6:30 p.m. 21st May for Vijaya ma'am and 23rd May for Shakila ma'am. So we hope to see everyone on these 2 lineups also. And
it was really enlightening, and to see the courage that you had that time, those days, to do all these things, and even now you're able to say that sky is the limit. I think that is the biggest inspiration and motivation for all of us. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much.